This is episode 9 of Ask Mogz Anything, the series where I answer questions from you guys about Sideswipe and myself while watching some matches in the background. In this episode, I'll share my thoughts on some really interesting topics, including how to get out of gold rank, mechanics that nobody has ever heard of, and what I think is the best car for stalling. If you want to submit your own questions for future episodes, come join the Mogz Discord server and write your questions in the Ask Mogz channel. The link for the Discord server is in the video description. Alright, let's get on to the first question and the first match. Alright, so the first question comes from Newbie, and they ask, do you know a decent strategy to get out of gold? So I don't know if you're talking about ones or twos or extra modes or whatever, but I'll just give you just kind of general advice. I'd say by far for the lower ranks, the most, and really for every rank, the most important thing is to avoid flipping towards the ball. So you can apply that all over the field. You can apply it to your shots. So don't just red shot or power shot it into the goal, and don't just flip towards the goal. You could use a purple shot, you can use a gold shot, or you could just hit it with the nose of your car. And you could apply it in 50-50s as well. So instead of flipping towards the ball and flipping kind of into the ball to push it past your opponent when you're doing a 50, just pancake into the ball. So just use your car, the body of your car, as like a shield to block the ball from going past you. Those two situations you'll find will help you a lot if you stop flipping towards the ball. The instinct is always to flip into the ball. You think like, oh, I'm going to generate more power. I'm going to, make sure it gets into the goal, or make sure it gets past my opponent when I'm 50ing him. But often they're maybe doing the same thing as well, especially in the lower ranks. So if you don't do that, you're going to be at an advantage because you save your flip and you can then use your flip to recover if you get beaten. And you just avoid getting scored on. So yeah, that's by far my most important piece of advice, is just stop flipping into the ball all the time. All right, next question comes from ! And they ask, any other mechanics in Sideswipe you haven't made a video of? I still need an update on those. Also, is there a gold reset? So I'm assuming you're talking about the purple reset, where you do a purple shot and get a reset. Is there a gold reset? I don't think so, because I don't think that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, you can get a reset and then a gold, but I don't think you could get a gold and then a reset. That wouldn't really make sense. Or get them at the same time. Yeah, I don't think so. So yeah, obviously you can get a reset then a gold. It's called a stall to gold, so you can do that. Any other mechanics in Sideswipe I haven't made a video of? Yeah. There is, well, I guess it's not really a mechanic, but there is one really cool mechanic or one really cool move that I haven't included in any videos, which I'm thinking of doing soon, but I need to actually learn how to do it first. It's like a combination of a white shot and a gold shot. So it's really cool. It's probably not very practical. Like I can't imagine using it in a match. But yeah, someone told me about it and showed me it the other day, and looks awesome. So I would love to learn it just for kind of freestyle purposes, just because it's interesting and it's like a challenge. It's really difficult to do, so I want to learn how to do it and teach all you guys. So that's really the only thing. Someone else showed me something that was like a stall, but it was like canceling your air roll. I don't think it's practical, but it does look kind of cool, so I might include that in a video as well. I could do a video about mechanics that no one knows about, something like that. Other than that, I don't think so. People often send me things like ceiling gold shot, like a ceiling gold shot pinch. Yeah, like a golden pinch or something. But I don't actually think that exists. I just think it's a gold shot on the ceiling. So yeah, I've never included that in a video, but I don't consider that, a new mechanic or anything. So yeah, anyway, those are the ones that come to mind. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. But yeah, definitely some potential videos coming on kind of weird mechanics that I've never talked about or no one's ever talked about. So yeah, anyway, stay tuned for those. Next question comes from Valid, or Valid, I don't know how to say that, who asks, what's a good tip for starting my mid-air gold shots in Sideswipe? Yeah, so mid-air gold shots, I mean, that's something I covered in like quite a lot of detail in my gold shot tutorial. So if you haven't seen that yet, 100% have to watch it, because it explains really, really simply, really clearly how to line up your gold shots and then your mid-air gold shots, and then also how to generate as much power as possible on all of your gold shots. So 100% go watch that. It's one of the most useful videos, I think, for all players wanting to get into gold shots, which I highly recommend. They're really important. But I guess just to summarize, really you want to just... I think the easiest way to line up a gold shot is just to go up like you're going to go for a normal like front flip shot, like a red shot, and then just immediately aim backwards and press flip. That's probably the easiest way. That was a method that I used early on. Rather than thinking, okay, I'm going to go up for a gold shot, okay, line up the back of my car here and then do a gold shot here. I find that quite difficult, so I tend to just go up like it's going to be like a red shot and then just turn around and gold shot straight away. So that's probably my main tip. The other thing would be to get power. You want to touch the ball with your car first and then do the gold shot. Particularly if the ball is moving towards you when you do it. So if the ball's coming towards you, then hit it with, say, the back of your car, if you can, and then do your gold shot right after that, because that'll push the ball away from you towards where you're going to hit it, and then you'll get more power. So those are probably my two main recommendations for that. Yeah, gold shots are incredibly useful though, so I highly recommend everyone use them, learn them, and yeah, go watch that gold shot tutorial. All right, next question comes from Patrick Bateman, and well, he asks, Mogz, what's the best car for stalling? So this is something, if you asked me this like a month ago, I would have said it doesn't matter, all cars are the same. But actually, after I made my video about the best car in Sideswipe, I learned, so while I was making that video, I learned that actually the hitboxes on some of the cars are different in the sense that what looks like the middle point of the car doesn't really line up with the middle point of the hitbox on some of the cars. So actually, yeah, I would say some cars are better for stalling than others. Off the top of my head, I think the Octane was perfect. The Fennec was perfect. I know the Scarab wasn't very good, and I have spent some time with the Scarab practicing stalls, and it really confused me, so I didn't really like it that much. But go watch my best car video, and you can go to the section about performance, and in that I give scores on all of the cars in terms of whether the hitbox lines up with the middle of the car, or what I perceived as the middle of the car anyway. So anyway, go watch that. I'll put it on screen now so you'll be able to see it here anyway, but you can hear me explain all about it in the performance section of that video. But yeah, so basically the answer to that is whatever car you feel most comfortable stalling in is the best car. But I think that whatever car you feel like the middle of the car, the middle point of the car matches the middle of the hitbox, then that's probably the best car for stalling. But I think a lot of them are equal. There's like 10 equal best cars, and then there's a few that are not so good. But most of them, most of them are good. Most of them are fine, honestly. All right, next question comes from Anas1220. And they ask, hey Mogzy, big fan. Thanks, bro. I want to practice a lot in Sideswipe, but I don't want to lose my rank. What should I play? Bots, free play, casual. So I'm not sure why you don't want to lose your rank. If it's just like a pride thing, you want to just keep your rank. If it's for the rewards, and then I wouldn't worry about it, because it doesn't matter. Like whatever rank you got during the season, that's whatever the highest rank you got, that's the rewards you'll get. So you don't have to worry about losing your rank. But if you just don't want to lose your rank for whatever reason, and you want to play, then yeah, just play casual. Yeah, that's the closest you're gonna get to like proper matches. Other than that, yeah, free play obviously is really useful to practice mechanics and just get warmed up and yeah, learn different mechanics and stuff. So I would definitely spend some time in free play if you want to learn or improve a particular mechanic like stalls. Then definitely do that. I think there's another question later on about practice routine, training routine. So I'll leave any information on that for that question. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, if you just want to play the game, casual and free play, definitely. All right, next one comes from Mr. Potato, Mr. Potato Jr., sorry. And they ask, is it possible to change the side I'm playing on? So instead of being on the right side, I'll be on the left. Yeah, so this is something you can easily do. Let me just load up Sideswipe. So I think it's in accessibility. Let me just go in. So you just go game settings. Oh no, it's just right on the gameplay screen. So it says camera orientation, always defend left or right or no preference. So I do always defend left just because I think it makes sense. Like go from left to right. I don't know. I just like that. So I do left to right. But honestly, it doesn't matter and it doesn't affect. This is something I noticed because I have two phones. So sometimes I record Sideswipe. I go into a party with myself. And go into a match. So actually, the side you play on doesn't affect anyone else. So you can actually switch the side you're playing on, the side you're defending on, in the middle of a match, and it doesn't affect anyone. So no one else notices. It doesn't switch it for anyone else. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Anyway, so really anyway, it doesn't affect anyone. So if you want to switch it to left or right, it won't affect your friends, like your party mate, your teammate, if you're playing with someone. So yeah. Anyway, that's how you change it. So there you go. All right. Next question comes from LTE, and they ask, how do I stall reset on the roof? So this is just really easy. I mean, you just take the ball up to the ceiling and then do a stall, or put, if you don't have a flip, then put the bottom of your car on the ball and then you'll get a boost reset and you'll get a flip reset. So that's really, really useful. One of the most useful things to do in the game, and one of the most useful ways to use stalls as well, I think. You can use them to get up to the ceiling, where you can sandwich the ball between your car and the ceiling and easily get a boost reset. So that's a really good use of stalls anyway. But yeah, that's how to do it. I mean, it's really easy. You just do a stall, but the ball's right near the ceiling. That's it. All right, next question comes from Arik23 Pro, and they ask, hey Mogz, is stall important for higher ranks? Yeah, I mean, I think stalls are by far one of the most important mechanics in the game, other than, say, gold shots and purple shots and stuff. But in terms of like movement mechanics that allow you to move around the field with a ball, get extra boost, get a flip, stuff like that, I think stalls are, the most important, really. So yeah, I think they are important. Whether or not they're 100% necessary or not is another question. You can find players who have gotten to, say, GC without stalling, or without using them much, or without using like any mechanics, or any like advanced mechanics. But I think like stalls are a really, really good way to mix up your plays and to give yourself more options. Like when you stall, you can do anything from that point. You can stall and then fake it and just float down with a ball. You can stall and then immediately purple shot. You can stall and then gold shot. You can stall chain. You can stall chain up to the ceiling. You can stall chain all the way into the goal. You can stall chain and then gold shot. You can stall chain, then 50, pancake on the 50 and then push it. You can literally do anything. So you can stall chain, then manual flip. Like that's an incredibly common like GC technique. So you can really do anything. So I think stalls are just a really good way to keep your opponent guessing, and to make your plays more unpredictable. And it also, I mean, it's just a better way to move around. Like it's literally the perfect way to move around the field, because you can, if you get good at stall chains, you can use 0 boost, but get from the ground to the ceiling, you know, or get from the ground into your opponent's goal and have more boost when you get there than when you started. Like, that's ridiculous. So it's kind, like someone said in my comments the other day that stalls are like an exploit, like a hack kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, I kind of see what he means, because you're kind of breaking the physics of the game in a way. Like, that's how cool they are. And so, yeah, they're incredibly useful. Maybe not 100% necessary, but very, very useful. So yeah, I would say, are they important? Yeah, definitely important. All right, next question comes from Mummy Pekka. And they ask, hey Mogz, do you have a video on what you think is the best practice and warm-up routine for Sideswipe? So yeah, this is a question I was talking about earlier about warm-up or practice routine. I do have some... I have a really old video on like a training routine for 1v1s, I think it was specifically for. And then there's another one like shooting practice, shooting warm-up routine. But both of them are really old, so I don't know how useful they are these days. But I mean, I don't really do that much warming up. I think like, you know, stalls are probably the main thing I do warm-ups for. Most of the time when I'm in training before a match or whatever, I'm just practicing stalls, you know, practicing like specifically practicing stalls from the ground up to the ceiling, and then trying to get a purple reset on the ceiling and then continue my stalls. That's a really, I love that play. I think that it's so cool to do, and it's so useful because you get boost reset, you get, you know, flip resets, and it's just so hard to read, you know, and you got a lot of options when you get up to the ceiling too. You can do the purple reset, or you can not do it and then just manual flip it, or do a ceiling pinch or something. So I think that's such a cool move. So I often try to practice that a lot in free play. Yeah, so do I have a video? Yeah, I've got a couple of videos, but yeah, and if you haven't checked them out, I've definitely watched them, but I don't have any videos that I've made recently, so maybe I can update, maybe I can fix that and make a video soon. But yeah, anyway, good question. Okay, that's the last question about Sideswipe. I've got a few questions, like 1 or 2 about me, and then, or about Japan or something, just kind of random stuff. So anyway, we'll just do these last 3 questions, and then that'll be the end of the video. So first question comes from Red Army, and this is someone that's boosting my Discord server. Actually, I can see from his pink name. So thank you so much for boosting the Discord server. I really appreciate that. They ask, what's a typical Japanese drink? So I guess you mean like alcohol, or I'm not sure. When I read this, I thought you were talking about alcohol. So anyway, I'll go with alcohol. A really common Japanese alcoholic drink is, for men anyway, it's really popular with men, is an alcohol called shochu, which is just like, I think it's like wheat or barley kind of spirit, but it's quite light. Like it's like 20% alcohol or something like that, 25% maybe. And they mix it with soda water and ice sometimes, or sometimes like hot water. So I quite like that. Yeah, I drink that quite often actually. That's one of my favorite drinks that I just make at home. At home, I've just got but actually when I make it, I add lemon juice. So actually they call that in Japan a lemon sour. So that's like lemon juice with soda water and this shochu alcohol. So yeah, anyway, both of those are really common. The lemon one's is popular with everyone, men and women, and the non-lemon one, just with soda water and shochu, is common with like older men, kind of. Other than that, beer, I mean, they have this culture over here where every time, if they go out for a drinking party, they'll always have beer first. So everyone will just have beer as their first drink, and then they'll do their like kanpai, like cheers kind of thing. And then after that, they just order whatever they want, like sake, you know, nihonchi, or like something else, like whatever they want, lemon sour, you know, soda water and shochu. So yeah, other than that, like typical Japanese drink, normal drinks, I don't know, just normal stuff like, yeah, juice and soda, yeah, like soft drink and whatever. I don't think there's anything special. Yeah, they've got weird flavors of stuff though. Like they've got weird sodas over here and like, what's it called? Lamine, which is this, yeah, kind of sugary soda drink with weird fruit flavors and stuff. That's a really common drink as well. But yeah, anyway, interesting question. Next one comes from Newbie. I think he asked our first question of the whole video. Do you have to be a member or something to have you review footage or gameplay? So yeah, if you want me to analyze your Sideswipe gameplay or even Rocket League gameplay or yeah, anything, like I do on my second channel. So I often do videos where I'm analyzing people's gameplay on my second channel. You have to be a YouTube member. So it's like really cheap. It's like $3 or $4 a month. And you get access to getting replay analysis. So that's one video a month, which can be private or it can be, I can put it on my second channel, up to you, you can choose. And yeah, but I don't do it for just anyone. You have to actually be like a paying subscriber. But as I said, it's like $3 or $4 a month, it's nothing. But yeah, thanks for the question. And the last question comes from Galaxy Gamer. And this is kind of a Sideswipe question, kind of. What is the best looking cosmetic of every topic in your opinion? The best wheel, the best boost, etc. So I'm not gonna go through all the items, and because I don't have all the items anyway, and say, you know, and say this is the best one. But I'll just show you my loadout, like my car designs that I used for each color. For blue and for orange teams, and you can, yeah, I guess those are my favorites. Those are the ones that I like the most, and they're what I use. So yeah, anyway, these are my designs. Alright, so those are all the questions we've got for this episode. Again, if you want to submit your questions for future episodes, come join the Mogz Discord server and put your questions in the Ask Mogz channel. The details are in the video description. And as always guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.